steps there pretty much killed my step counter route. But it was early enough that it's not a big deal. When I finish this run, Cloud is like level 25 or so. It's pretty low, but he's quite beefy for being level 25, which you'll see when I get past Midgar. Yeah, Midgar is the ONET of FF7 by far. I mean, the step counter route that I use on the PlayStation version right now has some fairly tight spots, so when I was first learning that, then yeah, just getting a run past the Mako reactors alone was kind of an accomplishment for me. Although I've gotten more consistent at it. But yeah, I could have figured some way to salvage that by just keeping going and then like maybe cutting out one of the walking patterns and then just accepting an extra fight. But I really want to, yeah, the step. Even though the fights I'm fighting in Midgar are really easy and straightforward, the step counter stuff is pretty technical, and it's very important too because it carries over to the glitchy part of the run, and the strats I use for the glitchy parts of the run are pretty heavily reliant on step counter manipulation as far as minimizing my odds of dying. Hey, Alistair. So I guess everybody that tuned in recently can now see the beginning. Although it's probably pretty unlikely I'm going to get as good of a Guard Scorpion fight as I did there, but such is life. Yeah, I'm not going to get world record at this category, mostly just because I'm doing marathon safety stuff. The world record for this category is 2:35 by XeroKynos. Yeah, I think as of now, assuming all these people can make it, my couch crew is going to be Abda, Brosencha, and Uranium Anchor. So right there is the first walking pattern. Walking from the door to the loading zone for this cutscene skips a fight in front of the reactor. Thank you, Crystal. I mean, assuming I can finish a run without dying during the crater escape, I should be able to at least PB. I mean, if I can get like around somewhere between 240 and 245 with my marathon route, I'll be very happy. I mean, I do have a slight frame rate advantage on Kynos, just because I think he gets 34 FPS. Yeah, so right on that bridge in front of the reactor there, I would have gotten an extra fight if I hadn't done that walking pattern. And then in this area, another important thing to know about the step counter is that it doesn't matter in areas that don't have random battles. So in my first trip through this lobby room, there's no encounters, so it doesn't matter how I move. But when I'm leaving the reactor, it does. Brobdanium, yeah. That does sound like some kind of alloy I need in order to make the ultimate weapon. I don't really need to hesitate after fights like I'm doing, but that's just something I'm doing for safety, just to make sure I don't waste steps. I mean, this route isn't really. I mean, because this is a 3D game, doing perfectly optimized movement isn't possible. So there are error steps built into the route to account for stuff like that, but it's not. There aren't. I don't want to waste them if I don't have to. Yeah, Spike Vegeta is still around. Hoping he'll be around during my run too, in some capacity. Like donation station or whatever. Hey, Solid is Snake. Okay, so for the Guard Scorpion fight, my what I'd really like to have happen is for either Cloud or Barret, preferably Cloud, to get a limit break before it raises its tail, but that's completely RNG as far as what Guard Scorpion does with its 2 attacks before it raises its tail. Okay, this is a good start actually. This is probably going to give Barret a limit break. Hey, Ravine. After first attack, I wait to see who gets targeted. Right, I mean, it's not gonna Bird isn't gonna get a second limit break off, but just for out of habit, I'm having him attack first. I screwed up the step counter in the train tunnel. I wasn't paying enough attention. I just decided to start over instead of trying to salvage it. Right, not quite as good as the first fight because of Barret not getting a crit, but this next bolt should still kill him. Mako reactors are some of the more challenging parts of the run, actually, for the step counter, just because of how much, like, how many corners you have to turn and stuff. The part that I find the hardest, though, it's not. I won't go there in this run, but is Gaia's Cliff in the full game run. Because in there you have to do some step counting when you can't even really see Cloud's sprite that well. Yeah, and you can steal a weapon upgrade for Aerith from an enemy in the train graveyard. Okay, that's pretty good too. It's what, maybe about 10 seconds slower than the last run. I decided to have my split be when I leave the reactor instead of when I kill Guard Scorpion, just because, depending on what category I'm playing, there might be an encounter on the bridge outside of Guard Scorpion's room that I might get either before or after the fight, and it seemed kind of goofy to me to have it to have a Guard Scorpion split then because of that. Well, I reset once already because of messing up the step counter. But that's what practice is for. To speedrun, you need a game and a timer. And that's it, basically, along with dedication. I mean, having some means of recording is quite helpful too. I take my time with those options there just because you have to wait for the soldiers to reach Cloud before the next part of the scene happens, so I really don't want to try to do it too fast and make a mistake and fight them. Yeah, I recommend picking games to speedrun that you enjoy listening to the soundtrack of, too, because you're going to be hearing it a lot when you practice and do attempts. Hey, Nitrodan. Yeah, tearing's a bit unfortunate, but it should only be showing up when the screen is shaking or something. I mean, I'm actually playing the game on my laptop and then capturing it on my PC, just because this is a kind of a poorly ported game, and I have to do this in order to get it to run at max frame rate. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this game is a lot less random than, like, say, Final Fantasy IX, just because you can manipulate the random encounters, and you can get out of them reasonably fast, too. And with the right strats, there isn't, I mean, the battles you do have to fight, there isn't really a ton of RNG that makes or breaks the run. Biggest exceptions, I would say, are Demon's Gate and Carry Armor. Hey, Spike, good evening, sir. Oh, for everybody wondering too, I'm probably going to post the Limit Break game list shortly after I'm done with this run. I basically just have it. I'm just waiting for anyone else in the Limit Break planning committee that wants to look over my draft to do so and send in some feedback. But yeah, the game list has been done as of a few days ago. Just been having other people review it the past few days. It's going to be May 12th through 16th of next year. Yeah, Barrett's way of handling pretty much any situation in front of him involves shooting stuff to almost completely universal ineffectiveness. Hey, Scruffy. Yeah, and unfortunately space is going to be kind of a concern too, just because it's at Essentia's home in order to be able to have a place for the marathon with stable costs. That was something very important to us after the feedback from Crystals for Life. So there's going to have to be a limit on attendance, but if the attendance cap ends up being a big problem as far as having to turn lots of people away that want to come in person, then we'll probably look for a bigger venue next time. That is one of the things I very much kind of appreciate about the game's story, is that the stuff you do at the beginning of the game that has really questionable ethics to it doesn't just get forgotten, it does come up later. Oh, I hear you, Abda. It's pretty inconvenient to get to have air travel from where I live to, like, to go to AGDQ. I'm driving to an airport that's about a 2-hour drive from where I live. Fortunately, my mom lives pretty close by there, though, so I usually spend the night at her place and then go to the airport the next morning. The only speedrun kind of event I've ever been able to conveniently go to was Chicago-thon, just because it's only about a 3.5-hour drive to Chicago from where I am. Something I learned in practice a few weeks ago too is that if I screw up and don't skip the materia tutorial, the materia tutorial runs at 60 frames a second in this version, and you can fly through the text boxes before they even finish opening. No, I have not. I've never actually been to any anime conventions or meetups, period. I went to Gen Con when it was in Milwaukee a few times back in the 90s, and it's more for like the pen and paper RPGs and stuff. Yeah, that's a big part of why SGDQ is in Denver, is that it's fairly conveniently close to the West Coast, but it's not in California, which would make it a lot more expensive to get space and put on the event than compared to Colorado. Yeah, carpool. I mean, I have zero interest in driving to a marathon, even with other people, just because I can. I mean, I'm fortunate enough that I can afford plane tickets without a whole lot of problem. So I'd rather just do that than have like a 16-hour car ride. I mean, that's, even with other people, that's just more than I'm interested in. I'm supposed to back row Barrett, actually, not too far. Alright, let's not screw up the step counter this time. So I do need Tifa. Hey, all buns, going pretty good. Okay, that's more like it. I'm taking these menus a little slower than I could be too, just because I'm there's differences in lag in the menus between PlayStation and PC, and there's also kind of a bit of a glitch, for lack of a better word, too, where if you do menu inputs too quickly, you'll skip rows in the menus basically, which is bad. Yeah, I mean, there is quite a bit of text if you go through the rest of the trains. Especially, I mean, it's no question on PlayStation, just because the extra encounter you get in the train tunnel on PlayStation is a preemptive. In this route, it's a back attack, but because battles load a lot faster in this version, I think it ends up evening out. Whee! Yeah, I forgot to whee when going down that slide. don't think I've ever actually seen any of those shows. Watching TV wasn't really super prevalent for me back in the day. My family only had basic cable. And it's video games. That's it. I wouldn't really, I mean, kind of anti-religious subtexts are kind of common in Japanese RPGs, but I wouldn't really say so much in FF7. Something like Final Fantasy Tactics or Breath of Fire 2, they lay it on very heavy though, as far as having like the force for evil in the world being religion. Yeah, the Great Wall Wii is, forgetting that is reset worthy, I would say, in the Legion of Gaia. Okay, so my next step counter manipulation isn't until after apps. Nice. My track record for that Switch puzzle has actually been really good lately as far as getting it first try. The timing for it is stupidly precise, actually. Hey, Carrie, good evening. Nice to see you here. So I'll need some opinions here. Who else, when the helicopter appears in this cutscene, who else thinks that it sounds like a lawnmower starting up? It's got a little different sound to it on PC compared to PlayStation, and every time I hear it, I always think it sounds like a lawnmower starting up. See, there it is right there. Hey, Anna, good evening. Hey, Laurelyn, nice to know you're watching too. So the gimmick for this fight is that if you hit Airbuster in the back, you do 5 times normal damage. So I'm gonna kill him in 1 turn, basically, by using limits. Alright, pretty good fight. Yeah, that's why it's so important to have full limit bars on Cloud and Barret when you come into this fight. I mean, I just basically ensure that they're full coming off during the Guard Scorpion fight, but that isn't completely necessary. You can also try to get them filled off of random battles in the reactor. Yeah, I mean, until I actually PB, I'm going to probably gain time on almost every split in my timer just because of the game running at a higher frame rate than the last time I PB'd. That's a unique gimmick for Airbuster, though. I think, yeah, for every other fight in the game, if you hit an enemy in the back, it's only double damage. Yeah, that's one of many reasons why I really prefer speedrunning console games instead of PC games, is because with PC games, there's just too many kind of metagame things that you have to worry about, as in stuff about the game, how the game runs, that's not playing it, like the frame rate, graphics card, how powerful your PC is, stuff like that. It's especially kind of important / annoying for this game because one of the step counter values for random encounter manipulation is affected by the frame rate, because it increments every frame of movement. It's okay if anybody wants to snap along to the Turks theme, it's pretty hard to resist. I'm kind of more into the air tambourine thumb roll than the the snapping, though. I really like the sound of the tambourine that they use in here. Well, nothing bad is going to happen to her in this run, at least. We're skipping all that nasty stuff. Well. I have to do it a couple times to dry out my fingers in order to actually be able to do it reliably. Alright, I'm gonna push the left barrel this time. You have to push one of the barrels, and then you can tell her to run away from the other two. It's the fastest possible way to do it is to do run, push barrel, run, but pushing the left barrel first and then running from the other two saves some steps. Right here is where kind of switching between like FF7 and FF9 can be kind of a problem, just because like in FF9 you can wrap the cursor from the top to the bottom, but in this game you can't. I'm kind of sad I don't get any Hedgehog Pie battles in this run too, like I do in PlayStation, just because I always get the Sid Frog minigame music stuck in my head whenever I have to see a Hedgehog Pie. Hey, Aerith Living is known even in the world of Wreck-It Ralph, too. Oops. Thought we were done. Alright, so there's a little scary encounter coming up here with some thieves that might be able to steal something from me, but I have a way to minimize the risk of that by basically attacking them while I'm running. Okay, there we go. Because I can still, when I have the battle mode set to active, like I currently do, I can still get credit towards running away while there's an animation going on. So I did that there while I was attacking in order to pretty much reliably guarantee that I can get away before they do anything. remember those thieves, though, because I'll be back to say hi to them in about 2 hours or so. Well, her original name is Arisu, but I think Su can mean either S or TH, and when you're converting Japanese to English. If I hadn't had to spend so much time fighting with my computer before I started streaming, I would have come up with some hilarious Thanksgiving-related names for the characters here, because I do need to start getting used to doing this run with renamed characters. But maybe next time. Yeah, Iaris. Yeah, it's kind of weird to get used to if you're reading, like watching a Japanese version run too, that her name starts with the Japanese symbol for E instead of A. Little trick there where by mashing and holding left I was able to grab those items while Cloud was opening the door. Alright, now to get some grenades. Lots and lots and lots of grenades. Because for all the rest of Midgar, it's the fastest way that I can win the forced battles is by throwing grenades instead of actually using my weapons and materia. Yeah, that would be a good name for Barrett. Navigating this area is really hard too, just because of how many turns you have to make. Oh, and raise your hand if you got stuck in that area the first time you played this game and fought the house monster over and over and over again. I certainly did. Because it's drawn really confusing as far as where exactly you're supposed to go in order to get out. Correct, Abda. Like this area right here doesn't have random encounters, so it doesn't really matter how I move. It's only in areas with random encounters that I need to really control my movement. Wow, I actually didn't know that that was the emote for raising hands. Also, remember the kitty slide I'm on right now. Remember him or her and their happy days. Alright, so then for Wall Market here, I need to get a dress and a wig in order to be able to get into Don Corneo's house, but if you get some other items too, you can skip 2 fights in the mansion by getting Corneo to pick Cloud, so I'm gonna do that. So I need to talk to that guy to find out that Tifa's at Corneo's house, and then go talk to the guy in front of Corneo's house to find out that he only lets women in, and then I need to go become a woman. And then once you've done that, the order that you get the items in isn't super relevant. So I'm just gonna kind of do the optimal way for cutting out backtracking. There's some minor glitches that I could use here to shorten some of these cutscenes by about like 15 seconds or so total, but I don't feel comfortable going for them because if I fail badly enough, it can soft lock the game. So I don't actually need the digestive to get in to the mansion, but I need to get that to exchange for cologne. Or I guess technically perfume. I need to avoid that guy in front of the inn because if I bump into him, he talks to me even if I don't want him to. XeroKynos has the record for every possible category of PC FF7. For this category, it's 235. I don't think Zach's name gets mentioned if you go to Gungaga. They just talk about you can find his parents, and then if Aerith is in your party, I think that triggers some extra text. But I don't know. I don't think they ever explicitly say his name. So I take this really slowly just because I have to pick the second option for both questions there to get the correct dress. Oops, what am I doing? Talk to this guy. Oh, they do say his name? Okay, it's actually been quite a while since I've actually done that. Like done anything in Gungaga other than like go in and grab the Deathblow materia or possibly a Fury ring and then leave. Yeah, Rini MT runs Crisis Core. It's been a while since she has regularly though. So for this mini game here, it's going to be an incentive at AGDQ to have whoever's around at the time do squats. Complete with head scratching if you mess it up. Yeah, having like Meta, Sigma, and Caleb Hard around to assist with the squats will be quite worth the money, I would say, for the donators. It's too bad that I don't actually fight Palmer in this category, though, just because Meta did an amazing Palmer dance at the first Crystals for Life. 25 is the max number of squats you can get on PC. It's 21 on PlayStation because of frame rate differences. Oops, that was already in the house. Yeah. Given that he had no idea what it was when he agreed to do with it, that was my favorite part about the whole thing. He just said, hey Meta, do you want to do the Palmer dance for donations? Sure, what is it? Yeah, if somebody wants to dig up the VOD of that, that'd be awesome. Might take a while to actually find, though. I mean, it is on YouTube somewhere. Yeah, I can kind of see that if you look at him from this angle. He looks kind of like Edward Elric. All these ethers I'm getting are just to sell. It's kind of a convention, basically, of RPG speedruns that money is very tight in the early parts of the run. This is a really generous game. You can have up to 9 letters in a character name. Yeah, so I manipulated him choosing Cloud, basically by which items I got in the wall market side quests. And then doing that lets me skip 2 battles in Corneo's mansion, and which ends up being faster than doing the fastest possible way to get in. Yeah, you probably have to actually find my FF7 run and then find the Rocket Town section, which I would say maybe is about like 4 hours or so in. Yeah, it's completely fixed based on what wall market items you have, who Corneo picks as his date. There's no randomness. Let's please not use language like that here, Igneous. The run diverges when I get past the Midgar Solemn. There's a few subtle differences leading up to that as far as skipping some stuff that I'd normally get in a full game run that I don't need in this category, but as far as what the battle strategy on the step counter route is different, but the battle strategies are basically all the same. Okay, I didn't manage to get to apps before getting the next fight. Yeah, I forgot to reset Tifa's limit gauge. Alright, anyway, so what I'm doing here is I'm, even though casting Bolt on apps does less damage than throwing a grenade, it manipulates his AI so that, let me try for the quick kill. It manipulates his AI so that all he does is Sewer Tsunami. He might use other attacks that have slower animations and don't hurt himself if I don't cast a spell on him. Okay, so anyway, if I'd have reset Tifa's limit gauge and given her a hyper before this fight, I could have skipped the third Sewer Tsunami, but I didn't. Steps there, dodge and encounter. Yes, limit break hype. I'm planning to post the games list not too long after I'm done with this run tonight. I'm just waiting for other people on the planning committee to post any feedback they want to. You've trained your Kindle well. Can avoid the next fight here. Okay, oh well. I think I just barely missed avoiding this fight, but still on a pretty good pace. It's not quite as excessive as in the non-glitched run, as far as how many tranquilizers I use, but I do use a couple. Be able to pretty comfortably get sub-hour Reno. In the PlayStation version, I basically really want to be past apps by the hour mark, and on this version it's past Renodes to give you a sense of how different the loading times are. Hey Revenues, welcome. I guess calling Master of Orion an RPG would be a bit of a stretch. Yeah, we cannot abide inferior food. This pillar climb is actually pretty hard, too, for the step counter route, just because rounding all of the corners as tightly as I can is kind of difficult. Yeah, I should make you guys run FF5 so that you'll finally finish a Fiesta. Yeah, that is a good question on how much food torture of the marathon viewers there's going to be. Okay, Tifa getting pyramided is actually the best outcome. Barrett getting paralyzed, though, that's when you blame Everhate. Yeah, I really need to get a blame command on my bot. Subtle optimization here is that if I walk up to Barrett during that cutscene there and then just mash the circle button, it makes him jump up to the cable a few seconds faster. Ooh, that sucks. I'm glad to hear he managed to come back from failing the parade, though. Oh, a moment of silence for the cat slide. The true victim of this whole tragedy. Yeah, President Shinra definitely has a room with a view. the way Shinra HQ is built. Oh yeah, Reno is in Theatrhythm. Well, they should recognize some of the soundtrack too then. One nice thing about PC FF7 compared to PlayStation is that doing glitchy skips doesn't screw up the music. So we do actually get to hear like Genova's battle theme and One Winged Angel. I don't think I've actually gotten all of the FF7 characters in my Theatrhythm file yet. Like, I know I don't have Barrett or Sephiroth yet. I think I just recently got Tifa. Cloud was one of my starters. Oh yeah, you know, it felt really weird to me that they used this as a BMS stage in Theatrhythm. I mean, I get why they did it because this is the music for when you fight Genova Life, but it just feels kind of weird still. I've found Curtain Call much more addicting than the original game, probably because of it having a button-based control setup. Because I have a hard time using stylus on DS for a long period without having my hand cramp up. Curtain Call has a lot more music too. Voodoo much better. Good job, autocorrect. Oh yeah, I mean, I think as of now the Bravely Default DLC songs are only confirmed for Japan, but I really hope they come out here too. Because the list I saw had all of my favorite music from Bravely Default, like the Asterix battle theme, the penultimate boss, and the final boss, I think. Oh my goodness. I'm at about 83,000 Rhythmia now, I think. If I can even get to 6 digits, I'll feel quite accomplished. Yeah, it was announced for Japan, but I don't really see why they wouldn't release it here too, given that the game came out here. If you look on the Final Fantasy wiki at the list of Theatrhythm songs, you can see what they are. I think I think it's no question who's going to win the Curtain Call tournament at RPG Limit Break, though. Maybe we need to make Missentia play like play with her DS upside down or something like that to make it more fair. The warp stuff doesn't happen until after Calm. So about a little over an hour. Yes, the boss theme from FF12 is in Curtain Call. Okay, I'll just do this now so I don't forget. I'm gonna be on wait mode for the next forced battle. Oops, I forgot I have to move a little to the right to avoid bumping into that guy who always talks to you if you touch him. So if this was a full game run, I'd be buying some extra materia here, but for the glitched run, all I need is the batteries. Yeah, that's a big part of why I'm gonna retire the opera incentive from the Final Fantasy Relay, at least for like a while, just because topping the plushie opera isn't gonna be easy. And also just the tech logistics with the restreaming setup make it a much bigger problem if the runners are close together, which I hope they are, because that means that the race is competitive. Well, whoever actually makes it to the finals, I'm sure is going to be good enough to be able to play on Ultimate. Of course, I got brought to my knees by Ultimate like a week or so ago by fighting a final boss in a quest medley on Ultimate with the monster buff effect active too, and I think it was Heart of Chaos too, which I know that I just got absolutely wrecked by some of the parts of the song that had a lot of arrow triggers. I'm waiting an extra cycle on that now, just because trying to rush it usually ended up making me miss it in the past. We'll do it again someday. I just think it's time for a break. So if somebody wants to do something creative for the opera, though, I won't stop them. Alright, so then for breaking into Shinra HQ, for a single segment, it's much faster and more consistent to take the stairs instead of the elevator. There's a very, very low chance that you could save time on the elevator, but it's like 2% or less, so it's not worth it in a single segment. Well, memorize it. Well, I don't know. I mean, when I actually like consciously tried to get a perfect chain on Ultimate, I mean, I started to remember some of the patterns after about like the third or fourth attempt. I've still only gotten a perfect chain on one of the Final Fantasy Tactics songs. Alright, so right here now, how was everybody's Thanksgiving if you're from the US, or your Thanksgiving a month ago if you're from Canada, because we got the Stairmaster 7000 minigame here. There hasn't been any progress made on manipulating the elevator. Brutal L, the speedrunner / Tasser that taught me everything I know about step counter manipulation in this game, was working on trying to figure out some RNG manipulation tech for the elevator, but he hadn't had any major breakthroughs. Oh yeah, I saw you tweet that. I hope your mom's doing better now. That definitely sounds very, very not fun to have a broken ankle when you've got all your family, probably some of which you don't get to see super often around. My Thanksgiving was pretty low-key. I just had a really good meal with my dad and a few other people from the area. Doing stuff with my extended family is generally done over the summer for me when travel was more convenient. Also, I'm not forgetting the elixir. In fact, I got stuck on it. I don't need it in this run. Aw, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, hope your mom's back up on her feet before too long. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, J. Loman and Tapras. I can relate to that a bit, just because when my grandparents on my dad's side were still alive, we used to have a pretty big family get-together at their farm. But that basically migrated to being over the summer and being managed by one of my aunts instead. So then for this next room here, there's a bit of a trick where the room doesn't have encounters until I fight the forced battle with the 3 mighty grunts. So what I'm doing is I'm triggering the battle as close as I can to the elevator to cut down on the number of steps I have to take after the random encounters get turned on. This battle is also the first time that I'm using the wait trick. That's where I'm holding the cursor in a sub-menu in order to pause the battle. That lets me get more attacks off without than the enemies do, basically. It's used in basically all of the PlayStation and Super Nintendo Final Fantasies to some extent. It's really, really powerful in FF7 because when you have the battle paused, any queued actions that you have will still go off. Whereas in like Final Fantasy VI or 9, you have to kind of tab the cursor in and out of a sub-menu to kind of release actions. This room has a pretty nasty glitch to it too, where if you get into a battle after the mighty grunts, you can't run away because there's a glitch that doesn't reset the boss flag until after you leave the room. Okay, so now we have what I call Metal Gear Cloud. I have to sneak past some soldiers here that I really, really don't want to get caught by because I get forced into a pincer attack if they catch me. basically waiting a cycle on the guards here, so I only have to go past once. Alright, we made it. Oops. So it's a little faster to actually take the stairs instead of the elevator to get to the next floor. And then if this were a full game run, I'd be using a trick in order to figure out what the correct password is, because it's randomly generated. But for this run, I'm just gonna guess. And then because I've got like 3 more floors to go, now I take the elevator. Hey, dreams are fragile. I always think of these monsters as evil Macy's Day Parade floats. Yeah, I forgot the Mighty Grunt split. I'll just skip it when I get a second. That's a split I seem to forget a lot. I think it's probably because lately I've been explaining the weight trick during the Mighty Grunts battle. And that makes me forget the split. Getting the wrong password affects the prize that you get from Mayor Domino. In a full game run, I'd want to get the password first try in order to get the elemental materia. The best possible thing I can actually get in this category would be the ether, which is 3rd try, because then I could sell it for a bit of extra money. But in the end, it really doesn't matter what I get. Thank you. Alright, thank you, Quiet Man Mike. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Shinra got their model updated pretty fast to account for Sector 7 being destroyed. Rate height, tra la 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 la. This is why Palmer is awesome, among other reasons. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing some source duplication, basically, once the run starts getting really glitchy. That's the main reason I'm able to beat Sephiroth at level 25. Ooh, yeah. How would they explain that to like the janitors and stuff of the Shinra building, that they're installing an updated version of that model that has a crater where Sector 7 should be? Unless the janitors are also in on the conspiracy. um, that's something I'd probably recommend not thinking too hard about. Why Shinra designed their headquarters so that you have to get pieces of that model in order to unlock the door to the next floor. Some of the optional floors that I'm skipping make even less sense too. Yeah, maybe that's kind of a backup thing as far as like if you lost your key card and don't want to, are too ashamed to call security or whatever to let you into your office. If I forget my key card for where I work, it's definitely a walk of shame to go to the receptionist and ask to be let in. Alright, so I want to go back to ATB rate for this next point. I always thought that picture of Genova looked like a seahorse head for several times I saw it. This part's a little different from the full game route too, as far as who I use to fight HO512. Full game I'd use Tifa, this run I use Barret. Just because I want Barret to get some more experience. And he's the first option, so it saves frames on the text. Okay, so I'm going to use the weight trick again on this boss in order to reduce the amount, mostly to reduce the amount of poison damage that I take, because I can't take poison damage when the battle's paused. I should watch Kynos' record again, because I think in this category you might actually have Red 13 cast fire instead of use a grenade for one turn to conserve a grenade. And then, whenever I'm not going to be fighting battles that I want to use the weight trick on, I always want to be on active ATB, because that makes it faster to run away from regular battles. If I have it on weight, and usually enemies will all get an attack off before I can run away. I didn't change Red 13's name because he isn't referred to as Red 13 in the game's text very often. He's generally referred to as Nanaki. Yeah, I don't need the enemy skill materia in this run, so I skip it. It's kind of like Mog and Go-Go in Final Fantasy VI, where it would actually cost more time to shorten their name than I'd actually save from text boxes. I wish more RPGs that don't have like instantaneous text were like this game though, and that there's actually an option in the menu that lets you set the field message speed. The fact that I have it on max actually makes it so that there's only really about an 8-minute difference between the English and Japanese versions for a full game run, which is a lot less than I was expecting. For a run that's about 8 hours long. Yeah. I think in like some other versions of the game, his default name is Nanaki, like the French version, I want to say. Because the guy that has the world record on the PlayStation version is French, and whenever I've seen him like write notes about strats for the game, he always refers to Red 13 as Nanaki. So I think that's his default name in the French version. The French version I know has some really amazing translations too, because I think instead of translating directly from Japanese to French, they used the English version to translate into French. So it's kind of like playing the game of Telephone, if anyone played that as a kid in school. Like the best example I know of is the Aqua Lung spell. It's Aqua Breath in the Japanese version. They made it Aqua Lung in this, and in French, it's the word translates to scuba tank, I think, for the name of that spell. Evil gumball machines. Oh, there's a fan translation of FF7, so that's news to me. This is one of those games where I'm always kind of, for some of the more poorly translated parts, I'm really curious what the original version was saying. Yeah, scaffold, I think is the word in French. So is that actually like a patch for the ISOs for the game, or is it just like a script that you can read? Oh, it's a patch for the PC version. Interesting. So these two bosses I have to fight here are just grenade spam, although I'm going to try to use either Barret or Red's limit to finish off the second one to save a grenade, along with skipping one of their attacks. Because one other important thing about how the ATB system works in this game is that if you use a limit break, it goes off immediately instead of going into a queue with other actions. There's a couple places where you can use limit breaks to kind of squeeze in an extra hit, and then ideally use it for a killing blow to cancel whatever enemy was going to do next. Stuff like this is why I'm really glad that the run has all this really technical stuff now with like manipulating the encounters, just because none of the battles in the first like 2 to 3 hours are really that fun. For me at least. It's not going to put Barret to sleep. And it did. Well, and didn't give Red a limit either. Well, nice. Yeah, that ooh, it killed him. Ouch. What I was trying to do was use a limit to skip that flying drill attack, which is, I think, actually, did you notice that it's called spinning body blow in the PlayStation version? They actually changed it in this version, which I never noticed before. So I took off Cloud's materia before this fight to make sure his strength is as high as possible, so that I can pretty much guaranteed to take out Dark Nation, the dog, in one hit of Braver. Oh, this one room right here, by the way, is the only part of the whole game where Aerith is your party leader. And now it's over. I think this next track is a DLC song in Theatrhythm, though I don't have it. Crazy Motorcycle, very appropriate name. Makes me curious now if you're actually riding a motorcycle during the song, or what? Or if you're just walking down the highway or something. I'm actually front-rowing my characters for this part just because the next boss I have to fight is an automatic back attack. Wow! 3 red bikes. Yeah. The colors of the bikes as they spawn is random, and I want 3 red bikes because they have much more passive AI than the yellow or blue ones. And I can just swing my sword in their general direction and they leave me alone. I mean, if I didn't get this, I'd just basically be killing yellow or blue bikes until there were 3 red ones. It doesn't really mean much for time or anything, too, just because it doesn't speed up this mini-game. It just makes it a little bit safer, just because the amount of damage you take from the bikes affects how much HP you have at the start of the motorball fight. Yeah, something I've found with Twitch streams is that if you lag behind, just pause and play on the stream player, and that'll catch you up. Yeah, you'd think that Barrett, since he's in the back of that truck and has a gun for an arm, would actually be able to do something constructive here. Maybe he's just looking out for Cloud, though, and is afraid that he can hit Cloud. I don't know, I would assume it's 50-50. I mean, in the PlayStation version, there's only red and yellow. Blue is PC only. So I don't know if that's technically a different type of bike, or if it's still like 50-50 between aggressive and passive bikes. Oh, also there's apparently a mobile phone game either coming out or already out that's just based on this minigame, and it's already in Twitch TV's games database, because whenever I say that my game is Final Fantasy VII, one of the options that I can pick instead is Final Fantasy VII Extreme G-Bike Racing, which I find funny. Okay, so for Motorball, it follows a script every, it does the same thing every round, basically. So I'm going to try to manipulate that to kill it before it can do its nastiest attack. Okay, now I should be able to kill him before he does his next attack. There we go, nice. There's a little bit of randomness as far as how much damage Cloud's bolt spells do too, just because when you gain levels in this game, your stat growth has some randomness to it. Alright, so then the split isn't here, it's after I actually leave Midgar, but I'm gonna try to do a glitch when I'm leaving Midgar to skip about a 40-second cutscene where you talk about what to do next and then pick your party. This is one of the easier uses of the paralysis dodge glitch, as it's called. Alright, got it. About third try or so. So what I was doing there was I was trying to bump into the kind of event barrier that's around the exit and talk to Barrett at the same time. And then that confuses the game and makes it so that I can just walk right through the barrier without actually starting the cutscene. There's a lot of other fun uses of that glitch in the full game run. That's the most notable one in the glitched run. Okay, so this is basically the last stretch of the game where we're doing business as usual. I have to go through the calm flashback in order to be able to get through the Mythril Mines. And then once that's done, then the magic starts to happen. Yeah, basically all of the time I've been saving so far has just been from the game running at a higher frame rate. I mean, I haven't made any huge mistakes, but I mean, my play hasn't really been that exceptional. This is also where we see how Square kind of overcompensated for characters not having mouths in the PlayStation versions, because especially Sephiroth, because you see how he's got a ah face perpetually. Nice, okay, so this battle is where you can actually lose some time just because of RNG, because Sephiroth has to attack that dragon twice in order to kill it. And if the dragon kills Cloud, then Sephiroth might cast Life 2 on him instead of attacking. I forgot to point it out, but Hojo's mouth is kind of creepy looking in this version too. Stuff like that is probably the biggest part of why I wouldn't really enjoy this game as much if I didn't have so much nostalgia for it, just because the graphics look really dated kind of today. Much more so than like Final Fantasy 8 or 9. And the controls are a little stiff too, just because it doesn't support analog controls, so you're having to play a 3D game with just a D-pad. I mean, I don't mind that, just because, I mean, I played this game when it first came out and it blew me away. But I can understand if people that have never played it before just can't get into it for those reasons. Alright, so coming up here is where, if I was playing the PlayStation version, I could actually use the paralysis dodge glitch again in order to skip this next cutscene here with the photograph being taken. I like to call this the fuzzy pickle skip. But On PC version, if I do the skip, it'll soft lock the game on the next cutscene. Hey Nami, good evening. This cutscene here always makes me think about how the Grinch stole Christmas, actually, just because the design for Mount Nibble always reminds me of, what is it, Mount Crumpet, I think, is where the Grinch lives. If you do the photo scene skip too, you actually don't have Sephiroth in your party because you skipped that part, that trigger. So it's actually possible to game over in the calm flashback if you're not careful here with how you use that skip. Because if you get into a fight that's not a preemptive, you've got a pretty high chance of dying. Which I just find hilarious to think about too. Because hey, remember 10 years ago when I died? Yeah, good times. Hey, Sid Drennan, thanks for stopping by. So yeah, this fight here would probably kill me if I didn't have Sephiroth. I guess Red 13. Does the Grinch's dog have a name? I can't even remember. If so, then Red 13 can definitely be the dog. It's pretty. If you get really lucky, you can run away before Sephiroth casts a spell and then skip the animation. But okay, I was wondering what you meant by branch. Like, wait, like branch is in the branches that the Grinch's dog wears when he becomes the reindeer. That makes more sense. Sid would make a pretty good Grinch if we've met him yet. Max, that's right, that's what the dog's name is. So yeah, Red 13 can be Max. There was a Yeti shirt last week that had Red 13 as Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Now I'm imagining Red 13 as Max for a shirt design. The movement, even for that short scene right there, is a little awkward because of the D-pad controls. Like, the most efficient way I found to do that is actually just to press up and then mash the R1 button, which makes me kind of change my direction a bit. And that's important too, just because that one screen right there is an encounter zone. I don't want to waste steps. Get out of my way! I think it was Potato Handle that was telling me about a difficulty mod he was playing of this game once, where they actually added in a fight here where you have to fight the Mako monster that comes out of the capsule. No life. None of the characters have mouths in the PS1 version. They overcompensated on the PC part by giving them pretty goofy looking mouths. Yeah, I like how Neohart has a sub-emote that's Sephiroth's PC face. Yeah, I forget what Lucrezia, or whatever her name is, actually looks like, because you don't really ever get a good look at her in the PlayStation, or in the game. I mean, I'm sure there's like official Amano artwork of what she looks like. The LCC introduced me to the official artwork for Owzer from FF6 last week, and it's pretty incredible. If anyone's curious, if you look at my Twitter feed, I tweeted a picture of it to Brosentia a few days ago. My main takeaway from that was that guy has some of the coolest looking pants I've ever seen. I didn't actually find out until like I replayed the game about maybe 10 years or so ago that there's an extra cutscene you can get if you come back down here after Cloud rejoins your party in Disc 2 that actually explains his backstory, his and Zack's backstory fairly well, as far as how they got to Midgar and how Cloud got messed up. Yeah, I've always thought of Bowser as being Jabba the Hutt in human form, and the official artwork really cements it for me. I think Brosentia sent me a picture of what he looks like in the mobile phone version of FF6, and my heart still belongs to Gestel, just because his face portrait is just too special in mobile phone FF6. I don't normally get games on day one. I normally wait for them to go on sale before I get games, but I'm gonna make an exception for mobile phone FF6 if it gets released on Steam. And I'm definitely streaming that. Oh yeah, Zack is part of Cloud's backstory. You don't really hear about him. I mean, I think the first chance you get to hear about him is if you go to Gongaga. Oh. I'm willing to forgive kind of the silly walking animation that Sephiroth has for how chilling that line is. So he says, "I'm going to see Mother," and then his theme music starts. Well, when the mobile phone version first came out, there was a really, really nasty soft lock glitch that made the game unwinnable, because I think you couldn't get past the Leo versus Kafka duel. But I know that was patched very quickly. I am kind of curious what kind of glitches can be found, though. I'd be pretty skeptical if like Joker Doom can be manipulated the same way on mobile phone FF6, or if like the Vanish Doom glitch works. Yeah, just play Dissidia or Theatrhythm. You find out that all of the Final Fantasy characters are friends. Well, they fixed Vanish Doom and Evasion in the GBA version of the game, so I think that ship has long sailed. Yeah, I think the darkness status actually works too, because I think the reason why darkness doesn't work in Super Nintendo FF6 is because of evade not working, because the way that darkness is supposed to reduce your accuracy is based on evade stats, and since the evade stat doesn't work, darkness doesn't work. I know that a Japanese person has already done a speedrun of mobile phone FF6. I don't know what their time is, though. I haven't seen quite as much of mobile phone FF5, but I think the battle sprites and backgrounds look really nice in what I've seen, although the character models and portraits look kind of silly. I'll get that too eventually, assuming it comes out on Steam like mobile phone FF4 already has. I mean, I'm glad that did, just because that makes for a much faster speedrun than the DS version of FF4. It's like an hour and a half faster, I think. Just because of differences with frame rate and lag. And it's also a lot easier to record. Alright, so we're almost to the end of the Calm Flashback. So after this, I just need to sneak past the Midgar Zalem, and then the fun starts. I've never I'd understood the logic behind having like a fake Genova in front of the real capsule. It's like a doll or something. So here I'm just kind of selling off all of my excess equipment and getting some steel materia and then a big stack of Phoenix Downs. So the Midgar Zalem used to be a really, 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 really annoying skip. Like Cart 7, the guy who's got the record for the PlayStation version, found a really nice AI manipulation you can do. There is still some RNG as far as setting it up, but it's much more consistent than the old methods. Alright, so this is actually a pretty bad spot for it. I'm just gonna have to wait for it to move. Okay, let's go for it. Ah, that was bad. That would be why I back road before coming in here, so that I won't die if I get caught. Okay. So I'm able to confuse its AI and make it move directly away from me. And here. I'm doing a trick to skip a cutscene where you find that Sephiroth has killed another Midgar Zalem by opening the menu on the step that normally triggers the cutscene. I find that skip actually easier to do on PC compared to PlayStation. Hey, Gray. Yeah, this is the Steam version. Oh, you'll see. I'm gonna be a little higher than level 15, but not that much. This is actually kind of a problem. Yeah, I'm a little behind on steps now. I shouldn't have actually gotten that fight at all. Alright, so this is where the game starts to get interesting, because I'm going to be starting to use some wrong warp glitches that only work on the PC version. And, let's see, it's this one. The way that the warps work basically is that in order to set up the warp, I have to game over on it with a different file on my PC. So I'm using these prepared save files that are in the right places that I need. So by game overing right there at the exit to Mount Nibble, I've now stored that location. So now I'm going to load my actual speedrun file and continue. Actually, there's something else I was supposed to do too. So now I just need to trigger a fight here. This is using a glitch called battle mode warping, which is actually kind of hard to explain, but you'll see what happens when I do it. Alright, and I am now at the other side of Mount Nibble, so I've skipped a pretty big part of the game, but we're just getting started here. So I'm just gonna save and reset again. And then load a different file that's in the northern crater. That's this one. This is the same as my the other one too, where my whole party is dead in this file, and that's just basic. You can do that basically just by changing your party leader in in kind of a certain pattern. Okay, so now I'm back to my speedrun file, and then this forest right here is pretty special in that it has the highest encounter rate for Yuffie in the whole game. It's 255 over 256. You can't do that to skip Midgar just because it's based on getting encounters on the world map. That's how I understand it, at least. To do the battle mode warp, at least. To do the Yuffie warp, you need to have seen the cutscene with the Turks inside the Mythril Mines in order to get Yuffie to be a possible encounter on the world map. You can do the warp anywhere that you have a save file on your PC, basically. I'm doing it this way just because this is the part of the speedrun route. So now I've warped my my party into the crater, so... This next part here is a little awkward because this is where Kate Sith is supposed to be leaving, but Kate Sith's in a kind of a confused state right now where his slot in the game's memory has Young Cloud's data instead. It's a little like the Kutan glitch in Final Fantasy VI. This is also the scariest part of the run too, just because I'm in the crater at level 11. So here, so for some of these more dangerous encounters, I'm going to be doing some pause buffering, just because that makes my ATB bars fill a bit faster and pretty much guarantees that I can run away without getting attacked more than once, although in that fight right there it didn't happen. Yeah, the split was supposed to be when I got the victory theme after fighting Yuffie. So here is where the step counter is really important too, just because I'm trying to manipulate not getting any of the super dangerous encounters that I can get here. It's actually, well, it's turning out a little different than I expected too, just because I haven't gotten I only got one battle before getting to the bottom of the crater instead of two. Okay, so once I've reached the bottom of the crater, that's now set some values in the game so that it thinks that I've legitimately reached the end. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave, because I'm not strong enough to even get to Sephiroth, much less win. But now that the game thinks that I'm at the end, I can leave the crater and I'll have the high wind and full access to the world map. Yeah, the Mysteel armor gives Cloud a really high evasion rate, so that helps a lot with survivability as I get further through the crater. Okay, hold on. Let me look at my notes here for a second. Let's see, after that. Okay, it's after the next encounter that I need to do some walking. Yeah, if I die here, I'll have to basically just reload and do the warp again. So it's not a run ender, but it's a couple minutes lost, which I hopefully won't have happen. Oh yeah, that's really bad. I'm probably gonna die now unless Cloud dodges that. Parasite back attack is so bad. I was really lucky to not die there. Okay. If that happens again, I should force a battle just before getting to that screen, just so I stay on track. Okay, so after this, I need to take 7 steps. But yeah, it's... This one's completely free, just because these gargoyles don't do anything on the first turn other than depetrify, so it's very, very unlikely that they do anything before I run away. Alright, so I'm having too many problems now that I'm just pretty much just going to hope for the best. Hopefully no more parasite back attacks. I'll need to save this file so I can practice how to deal with this particular step count route. Probably only going to get at most one more encounter. Hopefully it'll be gargoyles. Okay, good. We're home free. The pause buffering makes my my run gauge fill a bit faster, so it helps me run away before enemies get more than one turn. I mean, it's a bit slower in real time doing that, but with how dangerous this part of the run is, it's worth it for safety. So escape craters. Oh, and because I didn't actually enter the crater technically when I climb the rope, I get this scene here. Alright, so now I'm on the world map and I've got the high wind. So now we're gonna do some stuff to make Cloud actually strong enough to be able to beat Genova Synthesis and Sephiroth. Hey, chap. So anyway, we're gonna fight Ultima Weapon to get some experience along with the Ultima Weapon sword, and because I didn't actually fight Ultima Weapon as part of the story, dang it. Well, that's why I saved right before this, because there's a fairly substantial chance that he'll kill me with Ultima Beam. So anyway, because I didn't fight Ultima Weapon as part of the storyline in Medial, Ultima Weapon's HP value is glitched out and is actually 0. I mean, Mistiel has a really high evade rate, so even if he does Ultima Beam, I've got a pretty good chance to avoid it. Pretty common to die at least once here, but since you can save right beforehand, it's not a very costly death. He doesn't always do Ultima Beam on the first turn, too. Okay, there we go. So anyway, because in order to I have to give Ultima Weapon an HP value for me to be able to actually kill him. So I use a potion on him, and now Ultima Weapon has 100 hit points. His Ultima Weapon's kind of like Doomgaze from FF6, in that its HP doesn't regenerate between battles, and you're meant to kind of chase it around the map before you finally kill it. Hopefully he doesn't do Ultima Beam, which he does. So hopefully Cloud dodges it, which he did. But we're not done yet, because Ultima Weapon uses Shadow Flare as a final attack, so now Cloud needs to dodge this too. I also have to reload and try it again. Okay, good. And bye-bye Ultima Weapon. Hello, massive experience, money, and AP. I'm sure. Well, no, you can't actually kill Ultima Weapon in one fight. You do have to get its HP down, and then chase it to Cosmo Canyon to kill it. Because when you fight it at Cosmo Canyon, it has 1 hit point. I mean, you just need to hit him once and then he dies. Alright, next stop is Bone Village. We get the best treasure in the game right now. The mop! Woohoo, mop! Well, I have to get the mop before I can get the next item. No, just because I'm actually in this route I'm actually not using Barret or Red 13 anymore. And my reserve characters get half of the experience from the fight. You get W item. W item lets you use 2 items at once, but it's got some pretty fun glitches you can do with it too. And the key to Midgar. Okay, so let's see. Potions, set them up. Sell this and this. Oh wait, yeah, I need to read pages. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing next is I'm going to be using a glitch with the W item materia in order to duplicate a ton of sources, which are items that let you permanently raise your stats. So I want to get a bunch of speed and power sources in order to pump up Cloud. Unfortunately, there's some pretty heavy RNG during this part. Oops, actually, forgot something. I actually have to reset in order to get the fight I need. Because whenever you do a hard reset of the game, it restarts the order that you get encounters in. There we go. I kind of figured I was forgetting something after I did that menu in beforehand. Alright, so now this fight is going to be with 2 bandits. Okay, but I didn't get the right luck. Basically, I need one of them to steal one of either my power or speed source while the other one is still around. That's why I revived the first one after he stole the wrong item. Basically, if they don't steal one of my sources, then I need to reset and restart the fight. So it should be pretty obvious now what I'm doing. There's a glitch with the W item materia that lets you duplicate items. It's pretty well known, but in order to duplicate items that you can't actually consume during battles, you have to put a little bit more work. I have to get something stolen as part of the glitch. Okay, then I need to steal a speed drink from this other one in order to be able to set up doing the glitch again. Now I need to do that 2 more times. Again to get another stack of speed sources, and then get a stack of power sources. That's to make Cloud strong and fast enough to be able to kill Genova and Sephiroth. I don't think this game needs a remake so much as a retranslation. And some updates to the controls. I needed to steal the speed drink in order to set up doing the glitch again, because I need a consumable item in the top slot in order to set up duplicating the sources. Yeah, I should be able to PB at this pace. So this time I use all the speed sources in Cloud. And put the speed drink in the top slot. Alright, and this is the last time. And the reason I'm saving and resetting in between each fight is that that will force the next encounter that I get in this screen to be 2 thieves. Yeah, I don't really think there's ever going to be a HD remake of FF7. I think the Steam version is the last version of the game. There's people that are doing PC mods to make an HD remake, though. Okay, it's fine that he ran away. But I got his speed drink before he did. Alright, so there's just one more place I need to go before I'll be ready to go back and fight Sephiroth. That's Gongaga. Oh wait, actually, no, I take that back. There's two places I need to go. I need to go back to Bone Village, and this is something I'm just doing for marathon safety. I'm gonna buy some extra healing items. I didn't do that before doing the duplication just because I needed the setup for the duplication. I needed to minimize the number of items I had that could be stolen in order to maximize my odds that the sources got stolen. Because every time the two thieves didn't between them steal one of my sources, then I'd have to reset. So I need two things here. I need the Deathblow materia, and then I need this fight here in order to steal a spider web, which is an item that lets you cast slow. That time loss is because of going to buy those extra items, which I didn't do in my PB. Okay, so at that point I actually could just go back, get into Highwind, and go back to the crater and climb down, but I'm gonna use Yuffie Warping again in order to get to the bottom of the crater, just because it's faster. It's also safer too, because doing it this way lets me skip most of the encounters I get in the final descent. This is meant to be random, but because of loading the save file the way I did, I always know that there's going to be exactly 4 encounters in the descent. And then this file is using Vincent because of a glitch with his weapons, actually, where if you use his mug command, is in the upgraded version of Steel with certain weapons equipped, there's a glitch where the next battle animation that happens gets cancelled. So what's happening here is that the animation of Vincent casting Escape is getting cancelled, so that's why the battle just kind of fades out after he bugs the giant. So there's going to be 4 encounters here, and then after the third one, I need to take off Vincent's exit materia because I do want him to die because I need to game over in order to set up the warp glitch. Vincent will be killed on this next fight. And because of the bug glitch, he just kind of keels over, basically, because the animation of the giant attacking him got cancelled. Okay, so now that I've done that, basically just need to go back to this forest here that has the highest encounter rate for Yuffie, then fight her. I should probably be switching to active battle mode to make running away from this a little faster. Okay, and then because this is a speed run, I'm now going to go down to the lowest possible battle speed. And that's just because of how fast Cloud is. And then also because of the glitch I'm using to get here, the game's a little confused right now. The background for this part of the game is an FMV, but because of me using the warp glitch to get here, the game is actually loading the wrong FMVs instead of the green energy background that you're supposed to see here. Oh, I didn't equip that through. Okay, yeah, I can still do this though. Some time here because I don't have death blow, but I can equip it after the fight. So this is gonna take basically twice as long as it should because I'm using regular attack instead of death blow. So I lost some time, but I'm still fine. I just need to equip Death Blow before fighting Sephiroth now. This is my first attempt at a run without notes too. I have notes up for the step counter route, but not for the menuing. Okay, yeah, I'm supposed to. I forgot to equip Restore and Death Blow. Yeah, these are regrets that their Cloud is feeling over not. I equipped long range when I was in the crater. But yeah, these are Cloud's regrets over not suplexing the train. Sadness reduces the damage you take in battle. Bizarro fight. I'm using a controller. I'm using a PlayStation 2 controller with a USB adapter. Yeah, Cloud is hitting with every death blow attempt because he has the Mythril armor equipped. A side effect of the Mythril armor is that it makes death blow always hit. And that's just based on math because of his evasion rate is used in to factor death blow accuracy. One-winged angel hype. That attack always hits Cloud because it targets the character with the most HP. And that would be why I grabbed long-range materia too, just because the timing for this fight is really tight to actually kill him before he flies up out of range. But if I have the long-range materia, then it's not a problem as long as I'm good, close enough. Alright, so anyway, should have been pretty obvious what my strategy for safer stuff was, but important things to know is that the only real RNG in this fight is Shadow Flare, as far as who it targets. Because the Wing Smash is always going to target the character with the most HP, and that's going to be Cloud, basically all the time. World record is 235. I'm using a route that's more designed for a marathon, so I'm not going to get the world record at this. And the run isn't over until the next fight too. So this should be sub 250 at least. Oh, and because of the FMVs being glitched out, I actually saved time here too, because normally you see an FMV of Cloud flying into his mind, basically to fight off Sephiroth's last influence over him, but we get the FMV of Airbuster exploding instead, so it's a lot faster. There's gonna be there'll be a donation incentive for Omnislash at the marathon, but I'm not doing it now because I'm PBing. Sadly, because of how slow the battle speed is, that takes a bit longer. Alright, 248. Most of that improvement came from the game running at a higher frame rate, but I'll take what I can get. Other than forgetting to equip Death Blow and Restore before Genova, that went pretty well. And and almost dying in the crater because of having step counter issues. But I saved my file there just so I can I can practice with that file and just see what I can do if that happens the marathon. Yeah, that final battle with Sephiroth is completely scripted. If you don't use Omni Slash, he attacks you and does 31 over 32 of your HP, and then you automatically counter and kill him. The only way to lose that fight is hacking the game. Yeah, I mean, just as far as just a PB with this route, if I can get under 245, I'll be very happy, but decent chunk of that is luck with like the source duplications and how many times I die to Ultima Weapon. Stuff like that is why I'm not interested in trying to compete for the record this run, just because I'd rather spend my time working on other games and also in other categories for this, the full game run. Yeah, I'll probably watch a bit of Crumps' Final Fantasy stuff. I'm not really super big on watching casual playthroughs of games that I speedrun, but for the most part, especially RPGs, but Crumps is a cool guy, so I'll definitely watch some. Well, I have a safer route, I just didn't execute it properly in the crater. Like, what I was going for was probably three or four fewer encounters total, and only getting one parasite encounter. Well, I guess technically two, but the second parasite encounter in my route is supposed to be preemptive, which means it's completely safe. Yeah, only Neo X-Death can break the laws of physics. Please stop talking about Tifa like that, too. I'm not a fan of that. Oh, cool. Yeah. Did they like the mysterious trains in the background when I was getting ready to fight Sephiroth? Well, I guess you could call the meteor a glitch, because we never actually saw Sephiroth summon it. It just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Maybe the meteor got wrong warped too. But yeah, if anyone doesn't know, there's going to be a charity speedrun marathon to raise money for cancer prevention research in January called Awesome Games Done Quick. I'm going to be running this game, this category of the game there too. And there's tons and tons and tons of other cool runs too. And probably the one that I'm the most hyped for is the 4-way Super Castlevania 4 race. One of the people in that race is coming all the way from Japan to come to the marathon too. AGDQ is in Washington, D.C. It's going to be at a hotel near the Dulles Airport. Yeah, and there's going to be donation incentives for my run, too. You can donate to name the 5 characters that actually get named, which are basically just the characters that you meet in Midgar. There's going to be a donation for whoever's around at the time to do squats during the squats mini-game. I'm making it an incentive to actually use Aerith to fight Sephiroth, which I actually did just now. I probably should have called some more attention to it. Yeah, I was using Aerith to fight Sephiroth. Even though that's actually part of the optimal route, because it cuts down the number of party swaps you have to do. If I didn't want to use her, I would just need to change characters before Ultima Weapon. And then also using Omni-Slash on Final Sephiroth for a more epic finale. That isn't done in the normal speedrun just because it's got a much slower animation than killing him with a counterattack, but that's tradition in marathon runs of FF7 to have Omni-Slash be an incentive. Alright, so let's see who else is streaming. Let's see who we can raid tonight. No, I wanted to offer fighting Emerald and Ruby weapons as a and Diamond weapons as an incentive, but it adds about an hour to the run because of having to do a bit extra grinding to become strong enough to beat Emerald, and then the fight itself takes a while. But it's kind of a shame just because I really like the Ruby weapon strategy, because you're using the Vincent Mug glitch to cancel the animation for Knights of the Round. So the way the fight plays out is that you're just doing pretty much nothing that you can see for like a minute or so, and then Ruby just suddenly dies, basically, because you've been summoning Knights of the Round, but using the Vincent Mug glitch to cancel the animation. Yeah, you need to get more HP in order to be able to tank some of Emerald's attacks, and that's done through a combination of, I think, fighting some magic pots in the crater. Gimme elixir! And also buying a bunch of HP plus materia. Thank you, Son of Orpheus. Hey, thanks, Jair. Not really a whole lot of people streaming tonight, so I guess we're gonna raid Darkwing Duck again. He's doing a Dragon Warrior 3 RTA. And let's see what we can do for a raid message. Oh, here we go. I've got a good one. An AGDQ draws near. Command? If anyone's not familiar with the Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior series, whenever you get a fight in the original version of Dragon Quest, the text is always a slime or whatever the monster is draws near. Command. Oh, cool. What did you think? I wasn't, to be honest, I wasn't quite as blown away the first time I saw the warps run, just because I already knew about most of the glitches that are used in it. I just hadn't actually seen like how they all get fit together in order to beat the game in under 3 hours. Yeah, the crazy FMVs are so good. I'm really looking forward to getting to show that off at the marathon. All the guilt that Cloud feels over failing to suplex the train. Hey, thanks, Spike. When will we be running FF6 next time? That's a good question. I mean, I need to focus on this for the most part for the next month, just because I'm running this for marathon, and I'm not happy with how the crater escape went in this run, just because I almost died because of getting a bad encounter, and I really need to grind that out across like just different outcomes of Midgar, basically, to try to make that as safe as possible. So I don't know if I'm gonna have time to run FF6 again until after AGDQ, but we'll see. The other game I'm working on right now is Donkey Kong Country 2, which I'm actually toying with the idea of doing a quick World 1 through 4 practice run of before I stop the stream, just to wind down. But after AGDQ, at some point I do want to work on the Japanese any percent FF6 run again and improve my time. And I've got some route improvement ideas for glitchless too. And I also want to learn FF4 and some other games next year too. Okay. I'll give the masses what they want as soon as this game's over. Yes! We do, Rain. Hello also, by the way. Well, for the sketch glitch, it doesn't work in the Japanese version, so it's without. But I do want to learn the regular any percent runs of FF6 at some point too, both with and without the sketch glitch, because I want to do a SNES Final Fantasy gauntlet in some time and see if I can get under 13 hours. So I'd need to do the classic any percent no sketch for that. Yeah, I need more maps for Theatrhythm too, just because I need more. I'm running low on maps that aren't like all Ultima mode. All right, so let me get this switched over to the SNES. See if I can do that without having to restart the stream. Oh yeah, it's at a weird resolution. Now, let me see if I can just crop it. I'm aware there's no sound too. I'll fix that in just a second. There we go. The red splits loaded. I can handle Ultimate. It's just it's a little more draining because I usually have to retry the songs a few times to not lose too much HP to actually be able to complete the quest. Oh, Essentia, I also figured out a way to actually to use my game saver with this too. I found I can actually use my flash cart with the game saver and then do console save states. So it's gonna be nice for practicing like Parachute Panic and stuff. Which I haven't really had time to work on World 5 since the last time I streamed it. So this is just gonna be until World 4. I'll save Parachute for next time. I haven't had time to work on DKC too much the past week. I've started trying to learn the, yeah. I just noticed the typo there. Nice job, Kindle. Autocorrect. But, I've started trying to learn the 2-1 wrong warp, although I've gotten it a couple times now, but I'm not consistent at it yet. I'm kind of waiting for the next time I do practice streaming to get some help from other people that know more about the game as far as how to be more consistent at it. Yeah, I'm not too good at that jump. It's hard though, I've only gotten it on console twice. I almost hit double digits in fake eggs when I was practicing last too. I posted a highlight of that on Twitter. Oops. It's too late. Egg. It's really bad to get hit by Crow. I mean, that's generally something you should reset over, because you have to go get Dixie back in order to be able to do the warp barrel. Yeah, if only I hadn't gotten hit, that would have been a really good Crow fight. No fake eggs. I messed around with doing the super jump to get into the warp barrel from below, but it's really hard for me. It's even harder than doing the super jump in Rambi Rumble. Because you have to position yourself relative to the hook and also be faster than the barrel shooting guy. I think this is the only level in the game where you can't skip the longer victory pose because of how the barrel is positioned. Well, if it's reasonably priced, I'd go for it. ActRaiser 2 is a good game.